my name is Donna Scholer, and I have worked for Microbiologics this fall 39 years. So I started here when I was actually attending St. Cloud State University. I grew up in St. Cloud and had worked somewhere else previous to coming here, heard about a job opening, never intended on staying here. It was a part-time job just to get me through college, and then something happened and it's 39 years later. In the early days, Microbiologics was actually called, when I started here, it was called Environmental Protection Laboratories. So I started in 1982, before a lot of people listening to this will have been born. It was small. I was the 8th person to come in the door at Environmental Protection Laboratories. And they were doing a lot of different things at that time. They did the prepared culture media. We were sending out our organisms on slants. But the opportunity to do different things is what kept me here. If we had not been as diverse as we had been, I don't know that I would still be here. I got the opportunity to have a career that most people would never dream of having. I got to go from packaging and shipping the materials, and then I moved into customer service. I loved talking to people and interacting with the customers that came in. I became a research and development technician in R&D for a couple of years. So I got to help develop the products and do the testing for the new products that we were developing at that time. From research and development, we made enough products that someone had to then, in turn, be the person who oversaw the operations end of it. And since I helped develop the products, it was natural for me to move into that area. So I just got to learn and grow, and I continued to go into the other laboratories. I don't know if you're familiar with the Greek parable about the hedgehog and the fox. So the fox does a lot of things well, and the hedgehog does one thing extremely well. At that time of our business, we were the fox. We were chasing after everything, trying to be everything to every laboratory, doing most of it pretty well, but not all of it really well. We were the actual laboratories that we service today. Not in all aspects, but we were those testing laboratories that used the products that we in turn developed. We needed quality control materials for water testing to ensure that we knew how to do that correctly. When we tested food, we used materials for quality control, just like every other testing laboratory would. We made the prepared culture media. So I got a really great background on microbiology from working in research and development. I got a great background and a lot of skills working in the laboratories. Again, if I had not been able to do all those things, I probably wouldn't be here, because I was very curious, and I still am curious, and I think that's what keeps it interesting in life, not to think you both know everything and that you are still able and willing to learn and grow. When I started, it was Guy Lamont, and then the Coburns took over, and Mr. Coburn got us into a lot of different areas. And prepared culture media for veterinary purposes was the last piece of diversity we really had outside of the microorganisms. So I said to him, can we please get rid of that media? And he said, Donna, not until microorganisms cover the overhead. And I said, okay. So I waited. I'm a patient person. So eventually the microorganisms could cover the overhead, and I held him to his word. And he sold that part of the company off. So that's how we were finally focused down on the microorganisms. And we finally became the hedgehog. You have to be passionate about what you do, or it's not going to work. And you have to find what you're the best at and what the world needs. And lastly, you have to make a living at it. I mean, we are in business. So that's our story. We were the fox, and now we are the hedgehog. And we do what we do extremely well, every single day. And that's part of our winning in our culture. It's not that every day you're going to be successful. but it's that every day you try to be the best person you can be, the best lab tech, the best customer service person. And that will bring the customers because we have high quality and we have good service. And what we do here is important. We touch the entire world. And I tell people, when you go home and you look in your refrigerator or your pantry or in your closet, there's probably something in there that the company has used microbiologics material to make it safe for you and your family. So it's not just this out of reach concept that we're making this a better place, a safer place for the world. It's in your own home. It's in our own home. It's for our families